Today I'm going to paint the same landscape on 3 different kinds of paper. So I have my Renaissance paper that I showed you guys a little bit ago, definitely a student grade. I have another well-known watercolor paper brand, but it does not clearly state that it's cotton paper, so we're going to try this out. My suspicion is that it's going to have some cellulose in it, and we'll see how that works. And then the other one is this Bohong 100% cotton 300 GSM paper. And so we're going to paint the same landscape on each of them, and let's see how they work. So this landscape that I've chosen is here, and it's going to require several layers, so it's going to be really important that these paper can soak up the water. So I have wet the entire paper of these 2 kinds, and I am wiping off that edge so that it doesn't get blooms that I don't want in it. And so already I see that this student grade paper, it soaked up some, and then it just got a large pool. It did not soak up evenly, and already it's starting to dry. And then this other watercolor paper that I have suspicions of it having cellulose in it is doing pretty good. It soaked up pretty evenly, and it's not drying yet. It's staying wet. And so this is what I want to show you. This one that definitely has cellulose in it, it soaks it up unevenly, and then it leaves these huge dry spots. So I'm trying to make it so that you can see that on the, that's really hard to see on the video. There we go. See that reflection, and see over here where it is already dried, and I haven't even put any paint on that. This is soaked through evenly, and so I like this one much better. And then I'm also going to compare, use the Bohong, and let's do the water on this. For this wet and wet method that I'm going to do, I like to wet the entire paper first. It'll work much better. So again, the water on this 100% cotton, the Bohong, has soaked in evenly, and it's not yet starting to dry. And so that's just beautiful. That's such an even coat. Over here, again, already this Renaissance is starting to dry on the edge. This one here doesn't seem to be soaking in quite as evenly as the Bohong, but it's doing pretty good. All right, so let's go from here, and I'm gonna start adding my, doing my landscape on these. See here on this part where it's already dried, it's gonna create a harsh line unless I go back in and do something about that. So that's not what you want in a good watercolor paper. That's not gonna give you enough time to make your landscape and to make your sky. When I go back and try to make this smooth here, it's actually causing more lines to show up. And that's because this paper does not soak up very well. So I'm gonna try to go from the bottom here, see if we can see how streaky that is. That's not what you want, especially when you're learning watercolor. You want to be able to have a beautiful, smooth blend all the way down. And this one is just, man, I'm having a lot of trouble with this. Okay, I'm gonna let that dry for a little bit, and we'll see what the damage will be there. So this one over here is still wet, and it's beautiful. It's even blend here, still wet all the way down. I'm just gonna dampen some of the corners just to make sure. See how when I blend this one together, it's blending in smoothly. It's not creating those streaks, and I'm able to go all the way down here. It's drying out already some down here, but not too bad. And so I'm gonna add just some beautiful pink up in here for the sunrise. I want this to be more blended so it can have that beautiful pink come up through the, but look, as I do this, this is not making it streaky, it's making it, it's blending in very nicely. So this one is definitely much better. And even if I come up and lift, it's not rubbing off, not yet. Naples red. Alright, now we're going to paint the same landscape on this bow hung watercolor paper. This is 300 GSM, and it is labeled on the front 100% cotton. So I am getting it wet again so we can make sure to have our wonderful smooth wash on here. I am going to dry a little bit of the central portion. All right, I have fresh water. Choosing my yellow. So that water is soaked into the paper, and just look how beautifully it spreads on this one. And that essential glow. And I am going to tilt this up just slightly. I want to make sure it's a nice wash all the way down. Add some of that pink here, and it just blends so beautifully. That's why the cotton paper is what you, this is one of the reasons why you really just want that 100% cotton, because it's going to blend really beautifully, and it's not going to peel up whenever you start adding layers and have to scrub. All right, so there we go, and I'm going to let them dry, and I'll show you the comparison. All right, so we're going to look at our results from our test with this. We're wanting to do a gradient wash, a beautiful smooth wash on these, and we had 3 different kinds of watercolor paper, and so this was definitely had cellulose in it. And as you watched, I tried to blend this, and I tried to put it on here to blend, and it did not blend well, and every time I tried to blend it more, it would just make streaks. There's some weird blooms. It did not dry evenly, even here on this side. When there's water here and it dries later than the rest of the painting, it'll make this unusual color here, this color change here. And then over here, this one is better. Do y'all see the difference? It's smoother here, but that central clearing that I tried to do, it didn't work very well. And even up here, it just didn't dry very evenly, and so there's still some streaks. Again, I suspect that this one has cellulose in it, but the packaging wasn't clear. It did not say 100% cotton, nor did it say that there's something else in it. But usually when I do that, when they don't clearly state, then it is not 100% cotton. There may be some exceptions, but for the most part, that is what I have found. Take a look at this one. This one is the Bohong watercolor block, and this is 100% cotton, and this is a cold press paper, and just look how beautiful and smooth this was. There's some granulation up here that's just really beautiful. And man, even just how the color went through here smoothly, and even that central clearing, it just turned out really, really well. So this is just beautiful. I really like how this turned out. So again, this is comparing different types of watercolor paper. Let me know what you guys think, and I'm gonna finish these landscapes up and we'll see how they turn out.